Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Classroom Matters with me, your host, Christy Houle. And I am super excited to be talking to Zasmine today. And we're going to get into a little bit of her background, but I want to just sort of talk a little bit about our topic at the forefront. So we all know that children have been isolated at home for months. They've done a lot of staring at screens, and parents are looking to summer camps because now we're getting into the time where parents are thinking about that as a critical opportunity to get some of that social interaction, physical activity, mental interaction, and enriched learning for their kids. We need to get kids moving and socializing, and that's a top priority as we all are moving into the next few months. The weather's getting warmer, and we want to give our kids the opportunities that we can. So it's interesting because according to the 2021 Summer Camp Outlook by Blueprint for Summer St. Louis, which is who we're going to be speaking with today, 82% of responding St. Louis regional families, and now that's just in St. Louis, so think about what it would be nationwide, are planning to send their child to an in-person camp this summer. So today I get to chat with Zasmine Johnson of Blueprint for Summer St. Louis, and we're going to discuss how this organization is tackling this issue head on. So greetings, Zasmine. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Hello, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to dive right in. So before we really get into telling our listeners what this amazing resource is, Blueprint for Summer St. Louis, talk a little bit about, we say kids are coping or kids are in front of screens. And so talk a little bit about what you know in the position that you're in about how are kids coping? What are some of the challenges of getting kids outside and playing right now?
Yeah, so we know that from our family survey that parents are excited about getting their kids into in-person, physically active, socially engaged, and fun experiences. So we know that currently in the St. Louis region, at the time of the survey, a lot of school districts are also still virtual and hybrid. And so transitioning to now where some of them are more in person and starting to get more of that engagement, I think parents and families are looking for more of that. Everybody wants to kind of return to normal. And so they're really just looking for their kids to be able to be physically active and engaged. And so even with parents who may be at home, maybe parents are at home and their neighborhood maybe is not a safe neighborhood for their kids to be able to be outside. Some kids are very young and parents are working from home. So sitting their kid just outside is not necessarily the safest option. And so we know that there's that level of engagement and supervision that a lot of youth, especially younger youth, require because they don't know what all the dangers are around them. And so we want to make sure that kids are in a safe environment to be able to engage and play with others and meet new friends and try new things. So we know that parents are really looking forward to an in-person summer this year.
Yeah. And would you also say, in addition to that, I sometimes think about the mental status and parents needing a break. And I know a lot of, parents joke around about that right now, but I truly believe that it's a serious issue that parents have been at home with their children in the home and for their kids to be outside at a summer camp, somewhere where they know they're safe is really a mental stress reliever for the parents as well. Would you agree with that? So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we know that as adults, right? So sometimes we think of kids as these superhumans, but when we think about us as adults and we're thinking about how we're handling how we're being inside, and as adults who have lived the majority of our life learning how to process our feelings and emotions and finding things to do, kids haven't had that opportunity because they're just not old enough. They haven't had to do it, and a lot of people had to do it really quickly. And so a lot of people are used to loving on their kids and then being at work and having these separate spaces. um, but we know for some there are some families who have homes that have offices and can afford tutors, and other families who don't have all that. And there are some parents and families who rely on school for a lot of things, so education and food and a lot of other resources that the schools provided, that now parents are in some tough places having to figure those things out on their own. But in the St. Louis region, we've done a really great job of like food distribution and making resources available. But I think that there's a lot of assumptions around what does home look like, because even with adults working from home, you never really know what the home situation of a coworker may be, if it's a safe place, or if those things outside of the home were safer than being in the home. And so I think we just know that people are ready for a different change of pace, especially for something that we were kind of thrown into. Nobody had time to prepare. One week people were in the office and living normal lives, and the next week we were not. And so I think everybody could use a little change of pace and scenery.
Yeah, and a little bit of normalcy
Yeah.
back in our lives, right? Because summer camp is like what people look forward to. It's what kids look forward to. They're like, oh, summer camp. So I
Mhm.
know that people are going to really be looking forward to the opportunity for some normalcy to be put back in their lives. And your organization, Blueprint for Summer St. Louis, is actually a tool that is designed to help parents with that. With that issue or challenge this summer. So tell us a little bit about Blueprint for Summer St. Louis. Give us some background on it, because I really am excited about our listeners getting on this, using it, and understanding how amazing this is going to be for them.
Yeah, so Blueprint for Summer started in 2015. We started because we realized summer is a very important part of kids' development. And so it's not just what happens in the classroom, but what happens outside of the classroom. So when we think about when is the time that kids can kind of take a deeper dive, if they like robotics, if they like art, if they like nature, if they like sports, summer is a great time to enhance those skills. And so the only way that parents and families could find out about summer camp was if they did a Google search. And I think we've all done a Google search before and have to go through the pages and find out. So it can be stressful doing searches like that. So we created a one-stop shop resource. So parents can go on our site and they can put in what they are looking for. So over the years, we have grown to, in 2019, we had almost 9,000 summer sessions listed on our site. And so we are excited to continue to grow. This year and last year, there were obviously some changes in the summer landscape. So we have a bit less than we did in 2019. But right now, we're at about 5,000 summer camps that are both virtual and in person. And so when thinking about what do you need, we know that it's more than just the topic of the camp or the location or the cost, right? It's all of those things combined together. So parents can go on our site, put in keywords that they're looking for, or if they're searching by category, if it needs to offer before and after care, if it needs to be for a special needs student, for a gifted student, if it needs to offer scholarships, or if it needs to be within a certain distance of your zip code. We encourage parents to put in all the information that they need so that when the camps come up in their search, it's the ones that they are looking for. And then they can go on and find more information. So we really try and make it simple, easy, and most importantly, free for parents to find information about the summer camps in the region.
Yeah, and I can speak to being on the site, and I actually went on the site. So for everybody that's listening, it really is that easy to navigate. I simply went on, I selected all of the choices that I wanted for my youngest son, zip code, price, he's a special needs student, all these things. And then all of a sudden, it literally was just like this amazing thing happened. All these choices popped up. And then I was able to really look at my choices in depth. And if I wanted to go back and refine my search, I could. And so talk a little bit about what areas does this serve within the St. Louis regions?
Yeah, so we like to say we cover O'Fallon to O'Fallon. So if you are a St. Louis native or live in St. Louis, you know there's an O'Fallon, Missouri and an O'Fallon, Illinois. So we try and cover that whole stretch. So we really try and cover the whole region and we kind of dip a little south too. So really the entire St. Louis metropolitan region is who we serve. And then we make sure that there's a focus on the city and the county. But we have camps located and listed in every zip code. So we really try and serve the entire St. Louis region.
Yeah, and I love the way that you put that O'Fallon to O'Fallon. And the majority of people listening to this are St. Louis folks, Illinois folks, so they get the O'Fallon, O'Fallon. I didn't get that at first. I've only been here, going on 10 years. But at first I was like, wait a minute, O'Fallon, Missouri, O'Fallon, Illinois. It's very confusing.
Mhm.
So that's a pretty big area. That
Yeah,
covers a
so we
lot.
Yeah, so we try and make our listing as comprehensive as possible because we know in the St. Louis region, people can live in one place, work in another, have family in another place. And summer is a great time because kids get to do things that they don't normally get to do, right? They may get to go spend a month at grandma's house, or they may get to go stay at a cousin's house. So the camps and the things that parents and families need can change throughout the summer. So we know that you can live and work just about anywhere. And so it may be more important for you to have a prep camp program that's 10 minutes from work. So you can drop them off on the way, pick them up when you leave. And so we really try and make it as comprehensive because we think all students in the region really deserve a great summer camp experience.
Hmm. And how much does this cost?
Nothing. It costs
That's what I
nothing
was
for
getting
parents.
at.
Yep.
Free.
It is free for parents to search on our site. And it's actually also free for camp providers to list their summer camps on our site. So when you go on our site, you won't see a lot of ads. You won't see the first page taken up with people who paid to be there. We really try and make it an open source space so that when you see camp, you know that those are the camps that you need and meet your needs.
Hmm. So when a parent gets on the site and they've done their search and they've put in all their criteria and they click the search button, what are they going to see?
You're going to see a list of sessions that meet all of your criteria first. And so there are ways to kind of sort. So, like, say you put in you're looking for an arts camp for your 10-year-old that is happening the month of July. So you'll see all the arts camps, and computers are a special thing. They can like use your IP address, and I think it automatically sorts by what's closest to you. But you can sort by highest cost, lowest cost. So you'll see all the camps that meet your search criteria, and so it really shows it, and there's ways to filter it. And we also have a feature on our site for where if parents and families create an account, you can save your searches, and then if you find a camp, say the first camp that comes up just does what you need it to do. You've read the description. You can add it to your blueprint, which is a calendar, and you can save it to your calendar. And so if you're looking for multiple children, you can color code that calendar and you can make sure that you're really looking for all the programs that you need and you're not forgetting about one kid and only doing things for the other. So we really make it simple and easy for parents to find information because we all know what it's like to search for something and find it. And then the next day go back and try and figure out, I went down a rabbit hole and I found it and I don't know how to get back to it. So we really make it easy for parents to be able to come back and continue searching, saving their searches and putting them on calendars.
That's amazing because now it's not just a search portal. It's actually something where parents have all these features to create an account for free, to organize all of their camp searches and findings for free, and go back and have all these things. Because like you said, things do change. There might be something that you're interested in now, and in a month from now, the parents' work schedule changes or the kids' interest changes, or they say, oh, I thought I wanted to do theater, but now I really want to get into robots because I saw this cool thing. You can go back and go to your saved ones and change it and look for something else for free. And so you guys have really done an exceptional job organizing and creating something that is not just a simple search, but is actually a really beneficial tool for parents to use over and over and over again. And I agree with you. When you go on Google and you just search summer camps, oh my goodness, it is like it's not easy at all. So what, I mean, it's such an amazing tool. What really possessed you guys, or what are all, how do you think that this impacts just the community? Because you are doing such a service for the community. So talk to us a little bit about how this is intertwined with just, a community organization.
Yeah, so we are located in the Clark Fox Family Foundation where we have a lot of interest. We are very curious people, and we know that education is important. It really lays the foundation and the framework for how we interact as adults and the opportunities that we are exposed to as we get older, right? So when we think about what does it mean to be successful, there are a lot of pieces to that. And summer is a very important piece where there's just a lot of freedom to be able to take those deep dives. And so, um, as an organization that cares about the community and where the community goes here in the St. Louis region, we knew that education is important. And so it was a natural fit for us to be able to launch this platform. And so, what we're also doing is continuing to grow. So, we are now planning to partner with another community organization called STEM, and we will be launching Blueprint for STEM, powered by STEM, which will showcase all of the STEM out of school time opportunities. So that's something that happens during the school year, fall break, winter break, spring break, all of the STEM opportunities in the St. Louis region will be listed on that site. So we know that summer is a great time, but so is after school, so is breaks. And there are just a lot of times for kids to be able to be inquisitive and innovative and be able to really take deep dives into things that they enjoy. So we are really passionate about kids in the region, and we partner with organizations who are passionate about kids in the region. And we really try to find a way to make resources as beneficial and easy as possible so that when parents are using our tools, that they are getting the most out of it without having to put all of their energy into it. So you find what you need, and then you can go on to those programs and continue booking camps and finding more information. And so we are really invested in making sure that the St. Louis region is a great place for kids to live, have fun, work, and play. And so there are a lot of platforms that we are launching. We currently have Blueprint for College Prep, which showcases summer college access opportunities across the nation. And we also have Blueprint for Careers, which showcases all of the career and credentialing training and apprenticeship programs for youth in the region who may not be on that 4 year college track but want to work in the trades. We have all of those resources available on Blueprint for Careers. So we are really invested in youth in the region, finding what works for them and how they can be successful, and really just providing all the resources to the region and parents, families, and youth so that they can make the best decisions with all the information possible.
That's amazing. So you guys not only have the blueprint for summer, you also have the blueprint for STEM, blueprint for careers,
And Blueprint
available
for
to
College Prep.
parents, and blueprint for college prep. Okay,
Mhm.
so I want to talk about, because I know some of our listeners right now are like, ooh, 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 I I want to get on there. I want to, start diving into summer camps for my kids, and then maybe looking at some of the other things that you just mentioned, because as a listener, they might be, and as a camp employee, or as someone that runs a camp, or an educator that might want to get involved in what you are currently doing. So let's first talk about Blueprint for Summer St. Louis, and next steps, that if someone's listening and when they get home tonight, they want, or right now on their computer, where are they going to go to? What's the first thing that they're going to do?
Yeah, so the first thing you're going to do is sit down and type in stl.blueprint, the number 4.com. That takes you directly to our search site. So you will be able to then see how you can click through and add all the things that you need, and you can start your search right there on the site. And then you can see the sessions, you can see all the programs that we have listed. We encourage parents to really, when they go to stl.blueprint4.com, to really kind of play with the features and figure out what you need. We know that there are some things that some parents have to have, but also being kind of open to seeing what else is out there. So we encourage parents to search that way. And then if you get through that and say you sat down and you planned out your kid's whole summer, you got it booked, and now you're like, I have an older high school student. In the top corner, you can see all of our platforms that are connected, and you can just click through right there and go connect to all of our other platforms.
That's amazing and so easy.
Yes.
Really easy. Just, it even just kind of sounds fun to just play around with, right? To look and
Mhm.
just see what's there. Now, if someone is struggling a little bit and they get on the site, what is some contact information? I'm assuming that's on the site. If they need help, or they're stuck, or they have a question, who can they get in touch with?
Yeah, so if you are having a site searching issue, you can send us an email at info@blueprintforsummer.com. If you have a summer camp specific question, so say you find a wonderful camp at the YMCA, but your kid has a allergy to something really specific and you don't see any information about that, we tell you to contact that camp program provider directly. Anyone who is listed on our site knows that we send people to them. So if you call them and say, I found you on Blueprint for Summer and I have a question and I want to send my kid to your camp, they will happily answer your question. Most camp providers love answering questions because they know how important it is that your child will be in their care. So if you have a specific summer camp session question, contact information for the programs are there. And then if you have a site specific issue of you're trying to find something and it's not coming up, then you can email us at info@blueprintforsummer.com.
And we will also have all of that information, as we always do, on our Classroom Matters podcast description page. All of the links, all of the websites, all of the info that we just talked about will be on the description page. So if you weren't able to jot down what you just heard, you can either replay the podcast because you thought it was so great and you just want to listen to us again. I mean, right? Who wouldn't?
Obviously.
Right, obviously. So do you think, and now this is kind of just my brain thinking as you're talking about summer camps, and I often wonder, as probably a lot of people are wondering, are our summer camps going to be really full this year or really empty. Do you think folks are ready to start sending their kids back?
Yes, people are ready to send their kids back, and I do believe that camps will be full. So we keep in contact with a lot of program providers, and the reason why they're full is because waiting on guidelines for the city and county, they are prepared to be at reduced capacity. So most programs who used to maybe be able to take 200 students may only be able to take 100 or may only be able to take 50. And so my strongest advice to parents is that if you are looking for summer camp, you need to look and find them, start searching now and secure your spot, because those programs that usually you might have been able to walk up on the first Monday of summer and enroll your kid, they aren't going to have those same spaces available, just so because they are looking to keep your kids safe. So parents want their kids to be safe, and so do summer camp providers. They are taking all the precautions and health precautions necessary to make sure that their camps are safe, which means that they are operating at reduced capacity. And so currently, many of even the larger ones like the YMCA's, the Boys and Girls Clubs, the Boys and Girls Clubs, all of them are operating at reduced capacity and even in their own spaces, for the safety of children. So if you are looking to secure a summer camp, you should start searching now and getting those spots secured, because I do believe summer camps will be full. And they're also at reduced capacity. So they're going to be full, but they're being full faster than they would in normal years.
Yep. Great advice. Great advice. Start searching today, because if you put it off, those spots are going to be full. And I'm sure a lot of camps have waiting lists, but still you don't want your summer to be up in the air. And as you said, I know that parents will investigate and research the specific camps that they decide on, but I know that we are still in a phase of safety, social distancing, sanitizing, keeping things clean and healthy, mask wearing if appropriate, depending on the camp. Jasmine, thank you so much. I said Jasmine. It's not Jasmine. It's Zasmine. I knew I was probably going to do that when I got to talking fast. So for our listeners, it is Zasmine.
Yes.
Zasmine.
Yes,
Such
ma'am.
a beautiful name.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I did say Jasmine, I think, but I caught myself.
Okay. We all make mistakes.
We were talking, listen, to all of my listeners, and I know all you guys get this. We were talking about before we got on this recording that we were both kind of a little out of it this morning. So, it happens. It's like getting to that time of the year, I think, where even myself as a parent who has half of my kids in public school and half of my kids at home, I'm like, is it over yet? Like, can we just do worksheets and word searches and coloring pages to the end of the year? Yes.
Beach. Can we do anything but be here?
Can we just be unschooling, people that just kind of let their kids learn as they play outside? I'm all for that right about now. I'm like, go play.
Experiential learning.
The physics of the swings. Yeah. I mean, we're if you're creative enough, you can come up with any learning in any environment. Pulling weeds, right?
Pollen stuff, dirt, animals,
absolutely, nature. It all. Oh my goodness! All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'm pumped about this tool. I'm using it. I'll be honest. I already told you that I have 2 kids I might be sending to camp, and I've already been on the site and getting all my searches going because I need a break. And I think a lot of people listening will feel the same way. So thank you so much for being on the show today. I know that what you guys are doing is amazing, and it's really going to impact the folks from O'Fallon to O'Fallon. So thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And this is Christy Houle signing off for this episode of Classroom Matters.